This past weekend, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis finally decided that it was time for him to wade into the Bud Light controversy and boycott on the right. 2 weeks, it should be noted, after the controversy first erupted. Ron DeSantis, a little bit late to the game, but he appeared on the far-right Benny Johnson show, where he said this about Bud Light. Why would you want to drink Bud Light? I mean, like, honestly, that's like them rubbing our faces in it, and it's like these companies that do this, if they never have any response, they're just going to keep doing it. So if you're a consumer, or you as a consumer are like, yeah, they're basically, and I mean, it's such a fraud what they're doing with that, but like, yeah, they're doing that, but I'm just going to keep drinking it anyways. Well, then they're going to keep doing it. So I think we have power as consumers to make our voice heard. And not on every company, because sometimes conservative consumers aren't going to make a dent in some companies. This one is one. If you don't have conservative beer drinkers, you're going to feel that. So, I think it's a righteous thing. I love how you just admit that, if you ain't got these good old boy redneck right-wing MAGA hat wearing freaks out there buying Bud Light, you're gonna feel that one, bud. Basically implying that your entire base is nothing but a bunch of drunken rednecks. I'm not going to argue that point with you either. I mean, you made it. I'm just agreeing. But then Benny Johnson asked the real question. He said, are you ever going to drink Bud Light again? And DeSantis said, no, I don't think so. I'm trying to think what would I do if I had? And Johnson interrupted and said, so they've lost a customer. And DeSantis said, yeah, I think so. So Bud Light, Anheuser-Busch, you no longer have Ron DeSantis as a customer. Except DeSantis then immediately explained that he was already not a customer. He went on to say, but my wife and I, they don't have it here if we ever go out to just have a beer, which admittedly we don't have the ability to do that like we used to, We actually like the stout, the Guinness. And he talks about how we were in Dublin years ago, fell in love with Guinness, and that's really all we drink if we drink at all. So you're saying that Bud Light lost a customer, but then you admitted I was never a customer to begin with because I prefer Guinness. And yeah, there's nothing woke about Guinness at all, is there, Bud? You clearly don't know Guinness's history. Since 1995, Guinness and all of the other products that they own, which of course includes Smirnoff, by the way. Guinness, since 1995, almost 30 years, has been running ads featuring members of the LGBTQ community. Since 1995, a time when that was unheard of, when people would have had major freakouts, even worse than they have today. And Guinness basically started it all. Guinness is the king of the woke beers. And that's a good thing, by the way. But Ron, before you go out there and declare your love for a certain product, shouldn't you know a little bit about their history? Shouldn't you know the backstory just a little? Because it doesn't take much research to find these things out. Now, the good folks over at LGBTQ Nation had actually put this together. They found YouTube clips of the ads all the way again back to 1995, where they had an LGBTQ rugby player doing ads for them. That's who they are. They've been very inclusive. They have been on the forefront of the movement to make it okay to feature LGBTQ individuals in their ads. They were pioneers in this field. But poor little Ron DeSantis doesn't know that he's been guzzling this woke beer for years and years and years. And hey, guess what, Ron? You were drinking woke beer the whole time, and I don't want to freak you out or anything. But nothing happened to you, right? Can we agree that nothing bad happened to you from drinking a so-called woke beer? You turned out just as horrible as ever. You didn't gain any wokeness, unfortunately, because what's in the bottle has absolutely nothing to do with what's in their ads. But Republicans can't separate the two, probably because they have such a difficult time distinguishing their fiction from our reality. But that's the way it is. Ron DeSantis is now proudly boycotting a product that he admittedly never used to begin with.
This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.